All right, guys, we're back now, and what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and get ready to start soldering the receiver wires, okay? And if you remember, the receiver wires are going to go on this side here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do some receiver wires for me to prep them because I didn't have any ready for this because I didn't know which receiver I was going to use. So I'm going to assume that if you have a receiver that comes with some wires already set for it, then great. The one that I'm using, the FrSky, does not, so I'm actually going to make the wires right here. Do that very quickly. So let me go ahead and just cut these. So as you can see, I'm going to use these 3 wires right here. I'm going to strip them and tin them, and we're going to use these very quickly. All right. So if you do have a receiver like a FrSky or something where the wires are not, it's not a plug on the end. Now the RXSR does have a plug, but this one that I'm using does not. Then you're going to want to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and tin only this section here because this really isn't going to be about how to connect the other portion. But I will actually, I'll show you both of them. It's all fine. So let me strip both sides then, okay? Let me just do that very quickly because I know some of you will be buying FrSky receivers with this, and I might as well go ahead and show you now how to prepare that. Especially if your receiver did not come with any wires. You're going to want to make sure you have some handy, okay? And you can use any. Your camera comes with extra wires. I mean, there's plenty of extra wires in a lot of your builds. They don't have to be the same color. They don't have to, you just have to make sure you know which ones to designate, that you've designated as ground, S-bus, and so forth. All right, so these are done. I'm going to get the helping hands here, and I'm going to tin this up very quickly. All right, so we're going to do the ground wire first. And I'll just do both sides of the ground wire very quickly, and then we'll come back to the other wires. So here it goes. Okay, so we'll do one here. All right, that's tinned, and one here. All right, that's tinned. Do the next one. Just raise this a little bit so it'll be easier for me to work with. Okay. That's tinned. And that's tinned. So we only have one wire left, and that's going to be the yellow wire, which in this case will be the S-bus wire. There you go. And there we go. All right, so our wires are tinned. Now, if you're running a FrSky receiver, I'm just going to go ahead and do this one very quickly so you can see how it's done, all right? So as we said in the drawing and the directions have, here they are. It is from this circle down because the antenna's here and the antenna's here, so you know this is the right direction. You have S-bus, 5 volt, and ground. So that's what we're going to do. S-bus is going to be yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and tin my board. I've already used the flux pen on here, but in case you didn't see it, this is basically what I'm doing, just like that. Just kind of going over it. I'm going to take the yellow cable. Well, let me go ahead and tin it first. So to tin it, I'm going to put something down here to hold it in place. And I'm just going to very quickly put a dab of solder on each one of these pads. Okay, ooh, that's a little too much. Let me take that off. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to come in and I'm going to snip the wires so they're not too long. Let me cut some of this off. You don't need very much wire for this. There you go. That's enough. I'm going to do that again here. Okay, and then where did I put my ground wire? Somewhere here is my ground wire. I think it's over here. Here it is. Okay. There you go. And I will do this under the microscope as well for you so you can see how it's done. Let me go ahead and switch that over. So we'll do this and move that. There you go. So we're just going to place this in a kind of a nice area, hopefully to be able to keep it on camera for you. Let me untwist my soldering iron. All right. Again, we're going to start with the outside wire, which in this case is going to be the S-bus. So let's just go ahead, and it should take less than a second. Line it up, touch it, you're done. Okay. Next one is going to be your 5 volt or 4.5, however. Set that in the middle, line it up, touch it, you're done. Just hold it there until it's cool. There you go. And then we're going to do our ground. Let me grab that one real quickly. Okay. Line it up. Less than a second, and it's done. And all of a sudden, you're finished. You now have your receiver set, and if you have some, let me take this off real quick now, and we'll go back to the bench here. And if you have some heat shrink. You can go ahead and put that on there. I'm gonna go cut me a little piece real quickly. I'll be right back. All right. I'm gonna take the heat shrink. Put my glasses back on. Kind of tight. It's a little bit big. I'm gonna twist these up just to keep them nice and clean. All right, just like that. Okay. What, for packing? Yeah. Sam's packing back there, so it's gonna be a little loud. She says she's doing a lot of taping, getting some orders out. That's okay. Okay, just pull the wires through. Okay, well, this is really big for what it is, but it's what I had handy right now. And then we're gonna basically just bring the heat gun over here. It's not gonna shrink enough probably, but it'll at least give you an idea of what the goal is to protect the unit, although you don't have to use this at all. Then you turn it over, you do the other side. Okay, and there you go. You see how it starts to shrink and fit perfectly. And then because this is kind of bigger heat shrink, you're gonna have a little bit of a gap there. That's all right. All I'm gonna do is kind of pinch it closed like that. Okay, now that we're done with that, we can go ahead and continue with how we're gonna connect these. So back to the magnifying glass, or I mean the microscope, sorry. Let's go ahead and switch our views again. There we go. And let's get this to focus. Excellent. So you see right here, there we go, right there. We have our ground, our 5-volt, and our S bus. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the outside wire, and again, if you look right here, you're going to see these are really long. Okay, so we need to trim these down, right? So go ahead and start trimming them down. There's one, there's two, and there's three. All right. Since ground is the first pad on the outside, we want to go from the outside in, so we're not crossing over pads. Here we go. I need to put my glasses on, my other glasses, so I can see. All right, and you guys watching, this is exactly how you'll do it. Is that in focus? Let me see. I guess that's okay. Okay. Start with your ground. That's it. Then you're going to have your 5-volt. That's it. And you'll have your S bus. There you go. That is how it should look. Okay. Now, there is an option here, guys, if you want, and this is up to you, but you can easily also have come from the inside, from inside the board. Let me show you like this way so that the wires are not hanging out on the side. So I'm going to now, thinking about it now, if that's what you want to do, I'll show you how you would do that too, okay? For those of you that like to do that, I'm going to disconnect the soldering I just did. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to turn the board the other way now because basically we're going to be coming from this section, and if that's the case, we're going to start with the S bus first because that's actually the one on top then, if you're coming from the inside of the board. So what you would do is you would take your S bus, hold it over the S bus pad like this, and solder it just like that. Okay? Then the next one will be your 5-volt or your 4.5 volt, however you want to call it. And you will put that over there and do it just like that. Okay? And then you will take your ground, hold it over the ground, just like that, and get that on there. And now you would have your wires hidden so that you can hide them and keep them out of the way. Okay, so this is an option. It just depends on how you like to do it. Now let's switch back over to full screen, and you can get an idea of what everything should look like right now. If I can find my glasses, I will be able to see. And, you know, I take them off and then I lose them because I can't see. Oh, here they are. All right, right in front of me usually. All right, so what you can see now is, here's your layout, okay? And you could always do the same thing with these as well, but because this is gonna be in the front, it really doesn't make a difference because they won't be exposed, but on the side, they will be exposed, so you may wanna just keep them running this way. Either way will work fine, and everybody has their reason for doing a certain way. Now, I'm just gonna wind this up so it stays out of the way there. There we go. All right, and that is basically, now we've done our receiver, we've done our VTX, and we've done our camera. So the next thing we're gonna be doing is, for those of you that wanna use a buzzer, we're gonna go ahead and set the buzzer up next, okay? So I'll be right back with that, guys.